If any of you haven't signed in, we would ask you that you sign in. I think I saw a lot of you sign in, but if not all of you have signed in, please sign in on that sheet. I appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I need them. I'll go do John.
You know what ripped out? That was some patchwork there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Might want to just.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll be there Friday.
That should get him caught up pretty good. Hey, Brian. A lot of work.
Did you build a barn to, was it a barn dominium you built all the way out there on Massachusetts or?
No, I didn't build anything. I just cleared 3 lots.
So you just,
I
okay,
had it subdivided and I cleared 3 and I'm.
Okay.
They don't sell. They don't build a house on them and sell it.
okay.
Sell one and then I'd like to build a whole condominium with, one residence on the side of it. Keep that as a property or something, so I can parking crap in it.
Are we gonna let you bring all 3 entrances off of one road?
No, 2 off one and 1 off the other, which that's a whole shit show on itself.
Yeah.
Castle County says, you gotta have placement where the houses are gonna go. Down at the beach, I'll burn a hamper truck.
Would you have a wood stove in the basement of that old, and that house you had on Joe Gold's?
Yeah, but I didn't use that. We had a full fireplace in there.
Oh, really?
Burning fireplace.
Said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gave Dean 3 loads. Everybody, the fire, I offered it to everybody. You know.
Nobody take it?
Well, some guys came over and got some, but
Did they?
Got rid of them. Low budget
Where?
operation.
What's that?
Fair and walk.
We can't get.
No, Barrett's gonna be coming in person. I gave him orders. He will be coming in person. We want him in person
Mhm.
for him whenever he gets.
Yeah.
That is, well, actually, that clock's all time.
Yeah, we'll give him a couple more minutes.
Wait for Barrett.
Easy peasy.
Oh, what you call it, not here yet. Do you know anybody who has any empty space that gets left?
Where feet you need.
2,000 would be good. Our church has to be torn down.
that's what we just heard over the weekend. that bad?
Yeah, I heard that.
Mhm. The foundation is gone,
The church has got spades to it, doesn't it?
1867.
I did.
I have a call into the national.
And Leah just met with him last Friday. He's gonna do it every Sunday next year, starting the first,
What time?
10 to 12:30.
10 to 12. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that was his thing. There's just no smaller places.
The Mexican restaurant was at. What's in
Nothing.
front of that?
It's 2,500 square feet.
Oh,
Rodney. Marie is not going to be here. She's got her real estate class, so she is not going to be here. So
All right.
it's going to be the four of you.
more than perfect.
We'll call to order the Board of Adjustment meeting here at Town of Smyrna, Council Chambers, Town Hall 27, South Market Street, Smyrna. It's currently 6:03 PM. Would everyone please rise, join with me in pledging allegiance to our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First, I'd like to welcome everyone here this evening to the Board Adjustment meeting. Consider two applications this evening. I would also like to welcome Brooks Keene, a life member of Smyrna, to our board. Brooks, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. I also want to note that just for some of the yous here this evening, we did cancel the meeting last one due to the fact that unfortunately we didn't have a quorum. However, we have this evening, so we'll move forward with the application.
Can you speak up a little bit?
Sure. Okay. Next, Mr. Rothwell,
Yes.
were there any additions or deletions to the published agenda?
No.
Here are no. Do I have a motion to approve the public agenda?
So moved.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
All right.
Did the board have an opportunity to look at the August 27th minutes? And if so,
Make a motion to approve that in written form.
do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
We'll move forward with a special exception this evening before the board for consideration for the Islamic Society of Smyrna, just located on Glenwood Avenue here in Smyrna. And that would be 652 Glenwood Avenue to be exact. This is a special. This is a special exception. I will start with Mr. Rothwell. Would you, please read the staff report? You swear the testimony that you're about to give this evening, if so, please say I do.
I do.
Thank you.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jeremy Rothwell. I'm the planning director for the town of Smyrna. I'll be presenting statement of facts and staff report for the application. Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is an application from the Islamic Society of Smyrna. This is a special exception application to establish a mosque under our zoning ordinance is classified as a religious institution. And that is a special exception use in this zoning district. And this is to establish a religious institution use within a to be determined building up to 5,000 square feet in size on an existing vacant lot. This application was duly advertised in the Delaware State News on October the 5th. It was posted at Town Hall on October the 1st. It was posted on the subject property on October the 1st, and it was mailed to the property owner and abutting property owners on October the 1st. So this application, to give you some orient you to the property, this just under an acre property, vacant lot, directly across from Family Dollar and the former Harris Manufacturing complex on West Glenwood Avenue. West Glenwood Avenue was a hodgepodge of commercial uses and interspersed with residences that were built in the 1960s and 70s. And then behind West Glenwood Avenue, you have a series of developments, residential developments. This property was annexed to the town in 2014, and it was annexed under the Highway Commercial Zoning District. Most of the parcels along Glenwood Avenue are zoned either highway commercial, places like the daycare, places like Butcher Plumbing, places like Family Dollar, and Harris Manufacturing Place. And then some of the residences are zoned one of the residential zoning districts. Some of the residences are not located actually in the town. Some of them have not been annexed. In 2020, the Planning Commission granted major site plan approval to construct on nearly 9,000 square foot.
There it is. You got it.
There. Being a little temperamental. So in 2020, February of 2020, right before COVID, about a month before COVID, a previous applicant had obtained approval that was recorded to construct a 8,840 square foot auto body repair shop, which was a permitted by right use in the zoning district, and that was going to utilize most of the property. That application never moved forward for various reasons, and the property has since been for sale. The current applicant, the Islamic Society of Smyrna, actually came before you in March of 2024. The applicant attained a special exception approval to operate a mosque, again classified as a religious use under our zoning ordinance, and Unit T of Freedom Plaza. So it's a much smaller space. I'll allow them to describe how large that particular space is, and they've operated out of there for about a year and a half. And in the end of August, applied for a special exception as a potential contract purchaser of this property. So in terms of how this would work, what they're asking approval for is the use. The actual building itself and parking and entrances would require planning commission approval as part of the Category B site plan process. So the design and location of the building would be handled separately under a separate review process. What they're requesting is permission for the use, the special exception use, at up to 5,000 square feet. That's the maximum that they would be permitted to do so under the application that they have submitted. Now I will read verbatim. in granting a special exception, the Board of Adjustment may, and this is from section 9.2 of our code. Section 9.2, special exceptions. In granting a special exception, the Board of Adjustment may impose any conditions not otherwise inconsistent with the terms of this ordinance reasonably calculated to minimize the impact of the permanent use upon adjoining and nearby properties, including but not limited to limiting the hours of operation, requiring additional off-street parking above what is otherwise required by the terms of the ordinance, requiring the erection of fences, shrubbery, or screening devices, further limiting the size, location, number of signs, limiting the number of persons involved in the use at any time, including conducting the use and those to be served by the use, limiting the use, the specific percentage of floor area or lot area, limiting the number and hours of deliveries, limiting and prohibiting displays of products or samples visible from nearby streets or public ways, and any other condition reasonably calculated to protect the community and nearby properties from adverse effects resulting from the use if permitted as a special exception. In terms of the special exception warrants, in terms of, I'll go through my staff response to each of the warrants. The first warrant, the volume of existing traffic and volume of traffic that may be generated by the proposed use. So as a religious use, this property is zoned highway commercial. It has probably the largest variety of permitted uses, everything from offices, everything from retail to restaurants, even light manufacturing and service related businesses, things like barbershops, and everything in between. Almost any commercial use is permitted in this particular zoning district, and certain other non-residential uses. Religious uses are classified as special exception uses in almost all of our zoning districts. As a religious use is going to be limited to certain days of the week and certain times of the day, compared to a restaurant, for instance, which or another commercial business like the auto body shop, which may be open 8 hours a day, and you would have traffic coming in and out throughout the day and throughout the week. The second warrant related to the adequacy and inadequacy of available parking and possible need of available additional off-street parking. So as part of the site plan process, if the special exception use is approved, religious uses require 15 spaces per 1,000 square foot of gross floor area, or 1 space per three seats for a seated facility. One of two ways to be able to calculate the required parking. The most that it would be required would be 75 parking spaces.
In that lot, with a 5,000 square.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, you
All right.
So
What?
I said, excuse me, he's speaking.
Just ask the question.
There'll be a time for everyone to speak. Now is not that time.
okay. I'm going through each of the warrants for the special exception.
Jeremy, just so that everyone here this evening that is here to speak for or against this application, our town planner is basically describing the application. And he's also given the information based on the ordinance of the town for all of us to hear. The board here has not heard any of this until this evening, like yourself. So we have no knowledge of this application at all. So it's important that we hear this too. At that time, you will find that I will call upon the board member for questioning. I will then ask anyone here to speak for or against the application to stand. I will ask you to raise your right hand. I will swear you in. You will state your name and your address for the record. I do ask if there's a group of you here for the same application that, you guys can, if you have the same questions, we can kind of get them all to one. So we're not all here real late, but so that is, I just want to share the process so that you guys understand that, everyone will give an opportunity, but please understand too, as a board, it's important that we hear this information in detail because this is the first that we are hearing of this application at all. So thank you. Continue, please.
So if this application to move forward, the applicant is proposing up to 5,000 square feet, that would require 75 parking spaces. If they can't accommodate 75 parking spaces, they would be forced to have a smaller building, but that would be dictated. That's why they would hire an engineer to be able to figure those things out. And whether or not what the right sizing the size of the building so that they can accommodate the requisite number of parking spaces. The third warrant is related to potential for objectionable or nuisance causing activities, but not included or limited to air pollution, vibration, noise, heat, glare, noxious odors. As a religious use, this is not expected to generate any noxious noise, odors, dust, or fumes. I will allow the applicant to discuss there will be no outdoor activities related to this use. Everything would be conducted in an indoor setting. Economic and aesthetic effect upon adjoining or nearby properties. This would be built as a standalone building. The zoning ordinance requires that any time that it is bordered by residential uses, they are required to have a planted 20-foot buffer. So the previous use, the auto body shop that was previously approved, they were required to actually, if it would have been built, would have been required to have, as part of that approval process, they had a series of evergreen trees essentially that lined the horseshoe of the property, as it bordered the other properties around it. If this use were to move forward, that would be required as part of the site plan process. The suitability of the proposed use in keeping with the harmony of adjoining or nearby properties. That's a subjective assessment. That's something that you as a board would have to make. There are numerous commercial properties and commercial uses along West Glenwood Avenue. There are also other similar type private fraternal halls. You have the American Legion on West Glenwood Avenue. You have the VFW on West Glenwood Avenue. Asbury Church does outdoor services at their periodically throughout in the summer, warmer months for a facility they just built also on West Glenwood Avenue. Those are some of the things to consider. And in terms of the amount of pedestrian traffic, I don't, given the nature of the religious use, I feel that most individuals would likely be driving as opposed to walking to this particular site. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions, and then I would turn it over to you to ask questions of the applicant.
Mr. Rothwell, thank you.
I just asked that my staff report be issued into the record as Exhibit A.
So noted. We'll start with Mr. Noonan. Do you have any questions for staff?
Not at this moment.
Mrs. Wright,
Not at this moment.
Mr. King?
No, sir.
At this time, I'm going to call upon the applicant here to represent this application. And who would that be? Would you please stand? Would you raise your right hand? Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give this evening is the truth? If so, say I do. Would you please state your name and your address for the record, please?
Mamadou Jakite, my address 1514 Page Place, Townsend, PA, 19734.
Would you please share with us the application that you have before us this evening?
Good evening, council members, planning staff, and the members of the community. My name is Mamadou Jakite, and I'm here on behalf
I'm
of
sorry.
Yes,
Could you please speak a little louder?
no problem.
I'm an old lady, I can't hear.
I would. Let me start all over, I got you. So good evening, my council members, planning staff, and members of the community. My name is Mamadou Jakite, and I'm here on the behalf of the Islamic Society of Smyrna. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight about our request to establish a masjid at 652 West Glenwood Avenue. Our goal is to create a peaceful and welcoming place of worship for families in Smyrna and the surrounding areas. Many of our members currently travel long distance to pray, attend Friday services, and participate in community programs. So currently right now, we are in a small building right now, and the capacity is not limited for the community that's here. So therefore, we're trying to get the land, so therefore we can accommodate everybody as well, especially the females, because it's not at the back, the females don't have enough space. We're trying to make another bathroom to accommodate everybody else as well. And we work closely. Our goal is to create a peaceful and welcoming place of worship for families in Smyrna and surrounding areas. Therefore, establishing the masjid will allow us to worship locally and build stronger community connections right here in Smyrna.
We're trying to work closely with the city plan to ensure that our proposal meets the zoning, the parking, lighting, and safety requirements. The property layout will include proper traffic flow, sufficient parking, and landscaping that complements the neighborhood. The Islamic Society of Smyrna is fully committed to being good neighbors. Our activities are quiet and primarily indoors. And as Jeremy was saying before, it was that land was approved for auto body shop, and that will be louder than what we will be doing. Everything will be indoor. We won't do nothing outdoor. Therefore, we plan to host youth programs, educational events, and charity outreach as well. And that will benefit all the residents because regardless of faith and background, we invite everyone to come. You know, and that's when I was telling Jeremy, even with the Sunni mosque, we wanted to take that apart because it's welcome for everybody. You know, that's the part of our faith and that's our religion as well. We want to welcome anybody, no matter what race, color, anything, ethnicity. We want to welcome everybody as well. In closing, we respectfully ask for our support and approval of our zoning request for 652 West Glenwood Avenue. Our intention is to build not only a house of worship, but a center of peace, service and unity that reflects the values of this great town. And thank you very much in your consideration as well.
Thank you. If you could stay standing for a minute, please. Mr. Newman, you have any questions for the applicant?
Sir, do you happen to know what the current square footage of your mosque is now?
Now it's a small building. Honestly, I don't know. It's in a plaza right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, this room might be bigger than it. It might be the same size. But yeah, this room might be bigger.
I believe it's somewhere around 1,200 square feet.
1,200 square feet.
And how many members do you currently have now
That comes.
yes.
So during we have 5 daily prayers. So within the 5 daily prayers currently, sometimes we can get about 5 to 10 people. But the maximum volume of traffic is on Fridays. That's the Juma prayers. So within Fridays, we like right now between 40 and 50. But the community, because we have a mosque in Dover, most of the people go in Dover. That's in the Smyrna community as well. Or they might go to Middletown or they might go to Newark. So we're trying to make it an area also for even our children that we build a place for them to be in as well. So right now, like I said, it's 1,200 square foot. But right now, we're not accommodating the females too. That's with us because it's one bathroom, and right now it's uncomfortable for them.
Would you happen to see any additional traffic by moving a couple hundred feet down the street?
I think it'll be the same traffic. Like Jeremy was saying, most of the people, everybody drive there. There won't be no foot traffic at all. Once we drive, just park. And a lot of people, because we live close to each other, a lot of people will be carpooling as well, so that won't be a problem. So.
Thank you.
Mrs. Wright?
My question is, would you consider a smaller space because of the parking?
I mean, so right now we're trying to figure out as far as if we get approved. We didn't meet with an engineer yet, but if we need to downsize from 5,000, that won't be a problem. It'll be bigger than what we already have.
That's it.
Mr. King?
Yes, sir. What are the hours of operation? What times of the day? You said you had 5 different services a day. What time of the day are
Right
they?
now it varies. So right now with the time change, the first period will be around 5:15 a.m. The second one right now is around 11:40 a.m. The third one is roughly around 2:37 p.m. The fourth one is Maghrib that we just prayed is around 5:00 p.m. and sunset. So basically it's before sunrise and sunset, and then the last one is Isha that's coming in right now, 6:00. So and that'll be it. And then we'll make sure, it's closed out and everything. The only thing is on Fridays. Fridays is Jumas. So Fridays will be roughly around between 12:00 to 2 p.m. around that time.
Mr. Chair, can staff ask a question?
Sure.
What is your primary service on Friday for the Muslim Sabbath? What are those times?
That's what I said. It was roughly around 12 and 2.
12 and 2?
Yeah, it depends. Depends as far as like the daylight savings. So daylight savings, some people do around 12. Now let's say if the time didn't change, it'll be around the regular time was 1:00, around 1:15, and then it's done at 2:00. So it's roughly about 45 minutes.
Okay. Thank you. One question I had.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Mr. King, anything else?
believe it. I may have one or two for staff, but
About how many people attend each one of these different services?
Like I said, roughly right now with the 5 daily prayers, they probably like 5 or 10 because people are working as well. So some people may pray in the area that they at. So it's not that much traffic during the 5 daily prayers. The biggest traffic is Fridays, the Juma prayers. That's where you'll see the most traffic. But on the regular days, like I said, about 5, 10 people. Literally today was 3 of us that prayed at that vicinity right there.
Anything further? No. And that one Friday, the other 6 days,
Say it one more time.
the other 6 days besides Friday from 12 to 2, what are your weekends? Saturday and Sunday,
Same time.
same time. So the 5:15, 11:40,
Around 1 and 2.
that's 6 days a week,
Yeah, 6
and
days a
then
week, same time frame.
same time.
Even on Fridays, the same time, but set that specific time frame.
Okay.
Now, like the Sheikh was asking about Ramadan.
Mhm.
Ramadan, depending on which month it fall on, the 9th month. That's where you might see the biggest traffic in that specific month, 1 month out of the whole year.
Right.
So,
Any further questions from staff? Thank you very much.
Thank
you. Mr. King, you have a question for Mr. Roswell?
yes, Jeremy, does the town currently have any religious buildings in the highway commercial zoning areas? I know we have several throughout the town. Do we already have?
We do. We have, right near Brickworks, there's one, there's a church there. There was a church on DuPont, North DuPont. I believe that one left, that one vacated. Those are the two that I'm thinking of.
Okay.
They're on the highway.
Thank you.
I asked, is there anyone with us this evening to speak for this application? For this application? Do we have anyone with us this evening that speaks in opposition of this application? Would you please stand, sir? Would you raise your right hand? Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give this evening is the truth? Yes,
I do.
sir, I do. Thank you. Would you state your name and address for
Michael
record?
Schroeder, 648 West Glenwood Avenue, Smyrna, Delaware, 19977.
Welcome.
Ma'am,
Oh,
if you would stand over there so your voice will volume across the room.
Welcome.
Thank you.
hey,
What questions do you have?
you just said it before you interjected. How are you gonna get all them cars in that little space with 5,000 square foot wheel building?
So as Mr. Rothwell has stated, the building, when this application goes before the plan division, they'll have to meet the requirements of the town ordinance. And therefore, they would not be able to build a building that they would not be able to accommodate the parking. So that's not this board. This application has a lot further obstacles to cover, but
Done a traffic study here?
was a traffic study done?
Yes.
That again would be through the planning division and not the Board of Adjustment.
This particular use would not require a traffic impact study. So DelDOT requires, DelDOT is the one, we don't regulate whether or not a traffic impact study is required. And it's based upon, they have a formula based on use, and this would not generate one, but that's a DelDOT issue. But they would be required to get an entrance permit through DelDOT. That would be done as part of the site plan process. I'm not sure if the entrance permit that was obtained for the auto body shop is still valid. I don't know that answer. That was approved about 5 years ago, so.
Well, you had a drawing of was that an approved drawing? Sorry, I should have asked this, my turn.
Yeah, if you would.
We'll get to you.
Fletcher, just give.
I'm just trying to figure out how they're gonna fit.
Sure. Well,
So,
very good question. Thank you. Anyone else would like to speak? Raise your right hand, sir.
Yes, sir.
You swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth. It's so sad, Dale.
I do.
Thank you. Would you state your name and address for the record, please?
My name's Brian Fletcher. My home address is 5904 Millington Road, Clayton. But I also own the property adjacent to where this property is and also own Fletcher Plumbing. So again, my concern is not necessarily the purpose of the use. I mean, I have no objection to any religion, nothing there. I think the volume of traffic that could be going in and out, he currently said upwards of 50 to 60 people could go to the one that they currently are at specific times. And that's a small 1,200 square foot space. If you're talking 4,000 to 5,000 square feet, you're talking 200 people going in and possibly coming in and out there at any given time. I know everybody here has driven down Glenwood Avenue. It is a nightmare.
Mhm.
It's like a mini 299 in Middletown.
Yeah.
Yep.
And by putting in where another 50, 60 cars, 80 cars going out, and specifically at specific times, I think can create a backup nightmare all the way to the light at 6 and 300. The other concern, I'm not concerned about, it has nothing to do with religion. So I'm going to put that straight. This location of out of additional traffic, I think, is the biggest concern. We don't need that much more traffic. Where they're currently at now in the Liger Plaza or Liger Shopping Center, whatever you call it, has 2 exits and 2 entrances. So they can enter in off of the end of Main Street or on the Glenwood Avenue. If anybody's been in any one of Betsy Ross or any places trying to get out of there at 5 o'clock, and I think one of your services is dusk. So around this time, trying to get in and out of there at 4, 5, 6 o'clock is a nightmare. You can't go left because the cars, you got to turn right and then figure out how to make a U-turn. My concern would be this similar to what you see on the huge church up there across from Walmart. No,
Yes.
yes, Walmart. On Sundays, because there's so many people trying to get in and out, have the state police lock down the road, put flares up, and they have to let people get out that way. I don't think this is feasible for that location. I think it should be on the outskirts of town somewhere else. Again, nothing to do with religion. I actually had to annex into the town of Smyrna so I could get county sewer. Didn't want to on Fletcher Plumbing's building when I wanted to expand. They literally made me close off my entrance that was there way before Expos and whatever it was, Thriftway or whatever.
Right.
Made me close off my entrance and put 3 entrances off the outside, off the side street, which cost me about $40,000 before I could even build. But you're going to put something in that's going to have 40, 30, 50, could be more than that. I mean, 3 people, I understand they can handle it in the little place they're at, but in their big times, I think the volume of traffic going in and out all at one time, it's going to back up the road, make it a nightmare. The thing with the automotive shop, yes, it would be noisier. I get that. But you're not going to get an influx of 30 to 50 cars going in and out in the same time period. So, and if you can show that they actually have a draw, I assume that was an approved drawing.
That was, yeah. That was what was recorded.
Okay. How you're going to manage to do 50 cars trying to turn in there and park with a 5,000 square foot facility, you're going to create a nightmare.
Mhm.
I mean, that's literally my biggest concern. I almost want to move out of Smyrna, my business to move out of Smyrna because of the traffic on that.
Glenwood.
Yeah, on Glenwood. And we only roll in and out, we roll in within a half an hour to an hour. And we literally have 20 vans that come in and out. So, and half of ours don't come in and out at the same time all the time. So I know how hard it is getting 4 or 5 guys out at a time at 7 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning. 5 o'clock or dusk, any time of your busiest traffic times, I think is going to be where the problem comes into play. So that's why I oppose to any type of facility that has large amounts of traffic going in and out at a specific time is where I see what the problem is.
Mhm.
And again, like he had asked about traffic study. And before I could even say it would be feasible, I would have known how many cars go in and out of this property, and at what times. And if there's heavy periods, we need to know, you guys need to know that first.
Mhm.
It's that road. It's just that road is so heavy. And if you've ever driven up 299, I did a job up there. And if you got there at 8 o'clock with the school buses and everything going in town, it was in almost 45 minutes to an hour to get from Route 13, not even up to St. Andrew's School.
Yeah.
And I mean, ours is bad enough now. That's about all I have right this minute.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I just want to write this note. Do you have anyone else with us this evening that would like to talk? Just please raise your hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give this evening is the truth? If so, say I do.
Jill,
Thank you. Would you state your name and address for the record, please?
Kathy Zimmerman, 121 High Street.
Welcome, Kathy. Take your time.
Just want to add on to that you just approved, or somebody just approved 38 townhouses behind my house on High Street, which means you're going to have at least 60, 65 more cars there that are going to be going to Glenwood Avenue to get to where they're going. So not only is this going to add traffic, that's going to add traffic. You're going to have school buses. I am assuming that they may go to North Elementary because they're adding on. I know on Glenwood Avenue now, it is impossible to get up and down that road. We had a really bad rain. It was like I was at the ocean because of the runoff. It's just a bad location. It's overcrowded already. Now you've got the townhouses with an additional group of people. I think you're just adding problems.
Sure.
So,
Thank you.
and again, nothing against you guys.
The townhouses were actually approved in 2008.
Well, I just moved back here and,
They
so,
just now being built.
yeah, I made a mistake. I should.
No,
You're fine.
No, I made a mistake.
thank you, Mrs. Lingle. Do you have anyone else that would like to speak in opposition to this application? Sir, would you please stand? All right. You swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth? If so, say I do.
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Would you state your name and address for the record?
Paul Cantala, I live at 115 Michael Drive here in Smyrna. I'm going to give a little personal view of it only because I came from New Jersey, township of South Brunswick. On the end of my street, which is Route 1, they built a beautiful mosque. I never fought it. I never went to any meetings. It came. It proved to be the worst experience for the homeowners on Richard Road, which happened to be a cul-de-sac. On particularly the high holy days that you people have, they literally close our street. A police car, an ambulance, a fire truck could not come up. So the police said, you guys are going to have to do something about this. You're going to have bus parking in. No matter what efforts the mosque made, it never satisfied the danger that it brought to the neighborhood. I again moved, not because I wanted to get away from the mosque, but I wanted to come to Delaware. But because I literally went through the development of a mosque on the end of my street, I have a little personal view of it. Again, I'm not being prejudiced. These are the facts. And that acreage, that was acreage for this mosque development. If they know this mosque in Middlesex County, it's a beautiful facility. They even added on a school. They added on a number of different things. And with the proposal of this size lot, I think it might be a difficult thing for the area residents to accept. And also, I don't know if they have it or they propose to have any announces for their prayer times, like 5 o'clock in the morning or 5:15, making any kind of, let's say, whatever you do with residential houses around you, that a lot of people don't wake up at 4:35 in the morning. They sleep till later times. So that might also be something you should consider. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now, am I able to talk or not?
In a minute, sir, please.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, sir. You have anyone else with us this evening? Would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth? If so, say I do.
I do.
Thank you. Would you please give your name and address for record, please?
Hey, Vendrick.
Yep.
130 North High Street.
Well, welcome.
I'm 74 years old. I have lived on High Street since I was in 4th grade. This is the first time I have ever been here to voice my opinion. And you can imagine all of those years, I've seen lots of changes for Glenwood Avenue. As you stated, it has become very commercial. However, there are still homes on Glenwood Avenue. There are homes, many streets, little streets that feed into Glenwood Avenue. People have talked about the school district gotten larger. We see a lot more traffic. Glenwood Avenue has to be the busiest road in Smyrna other than the highway. We sat through all of that. I saw the shops coming in. Then we had the Walmart distribution center come. So now we have the big trucks that come through there. And again, as Kathy said about the townhomes, that's certainly going to increase. If there's teenagers there, that's even more cars that are going to be on just our street because that's the only in and out that they have. And they are going to be heading to Glenwood Avenue so they can get to all these other places that they need to go to. You also mentioned that if there's not enough parking there, you're going to do all street parking. Where on all street are you talking about? Because there's absolutely no parking at this time on Glenwood Avenue.
No, that's on street. So they wouldn't be permitted to do on-street parking on Glenwood Avenue.
I would hope not, because that would be a very dangerous situation. So I just want you to realize, and I doubt if any of you live near Glenwood Avenue. So it's very easy, glad to see one person. That's right. Okay.
Born right around the corner.
All right. Well, then you should know
I do.
how much traffic's there. And that's our concern. What what else are you going to do to us?
No.
I mean, if you're trying to get us to move out of town, then, you keep on and you're going to be successful. Little High Street used to be a nice, quiet little street. We had kids that used to play out in the street. You can't do that now. And with all of this activity, and again, all of us here, we don't have anything against religion, but our country's based on freedom of religion. I'm concerned about the amount of traffic that's going to be really people on Glenwood Avenue and all the little streets that go off of Glenwood Avenue, because there are a lot. So I hope when you're making this decision, you think about all those people that live on all those little streets, that how you're going to impact their lives. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have anyone else that would like to speak in opposition of this application? Seeing? Oh,
Not so much opposition, but just
Dr. Pleader again. You swear testimony that you're about to give us the truth, this so say I do.
I do.
Thank you, Frank. Would you state your name for the record and address?
My
We all know
name's
you.
Frank Shake. I live on 129 North High Street. Like, everybody was talking about the traffic. And that's the biggest concern. We have tractor and trailers running up down South Street or Glenwood because of Walmart. Walmart did a lot of work out there to keep that road and make that road for us.
Mhm.
And it should be used for everyone, but, and the other thing I was wondering on this, is there a back entrance? Are they able to put a back entrance anywhere on this property?
Nope.
Isn't that one of the codes where you have to have two, an entrance and an exit? Or it has to be one?
No,
It
so
can be one.
this is what was approved for an auto body shop, for instance. So
Okay,
there are minimum widths for an entrance.
right.
So the fire marshal, for instance, requires a minimum of 24 feet
No.
width of an entrance. But we have a number of commercial uses with just one entrance.
Okay. And then with that size of building, if they have a fire, trucks are going to be able to get in and out.
That would be covered under as part of the site plan process.
Right.
So, and when this goes to, if this use were to be approved, for before they build, any proposed building would have to go before the planning commission. And as part of the site plan review process, they not only have to be able to obtain approvals from the Smyrna Planning Commission, they also have to obtain approvals from DelDOT for an entrance and for any, they run the formula for trips. The auto body shop didn't require a traffic impact study
Right.
either. So typically much larger buildings would require a traffic impact study. This would not. But it does require a permit from DelDOT and approval from DelDOT. It does require approval from the Delaware State Fire Marshal as well. And they review for life safety and circulation.
Well, I know that they put up a water tower and that should give them enough water for any of the hydrants, right?
Yes, I mean, you have, and again, that would be handled as part of the site plan process, but there are hydrants that run up and down Glenwood Avenue for any fire.
But there's some of them that, in some parts of town, they don't have the pressure and so forth that they need for something.
No, so.
You guys know that. I work there,
Yeah.
so I'm just curious. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
Yeah.
Do we have anyone else with us this evening that'd like to speak in opposition of this application? Seeing, hearing none? Do we have any other questions for the
you have to give
applicant?
the applicant a
Yeah,
chance
so-
to answer the question that was.
Does anyone have a question for him? How about staff? Staff, for whom?
Really for staff. Jeremy, looking at this is the first I've seen, could you put the other view back up? So roughly the floor plan, I mean, the square footage for our building was 8,840 foot, but the footprint was a little over 6,300. And there's only spots for about 25 parking lot spots. It looks like it was available.
So that's something that would have to be reviewed as part of the site plan process. So if they don't have enough space for adequate parking, then they have to reduce the size of the building.
I mean, we're not approving that. We're only approving or disapproving the use of the building. So,
Right.
yeah, with that, you're probably looking at cutting that building down at least in half to be able to get the amount of parking spaces required. Do you realize that? I mean, do you understand that?
Is there a quick calculation that you're able to do to say as folks said, half the size, say 2,500 square feet? How many?
I'm not an engineer, so I can't do that in terms of, but based upon in terms of if you were to do, again, it's 15 spaces required per 1,000 square feet. If I recall, I believe that's what I put in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, probably 3,000 would be around the ballpark range would probably be in terms of being able to accommodate the amount of parking.
25 cars at a 3,000 square foot building. Ballpark.
So-
A lot of room for 60 people on their busy time. So,
Do you have any questions for
No,
the?
that was it. Thank you.
I gotta swear again?
No, you remain.
No, you're fine. Just state your name.
All right. I know everyone has the right intentions, know the concerns about the traffic and everything. But as we stated, I stated earlier when I talked about it, during the 5 daily prayers, it will literally be about 5 to 10 people, might not even get 10 people. Now, for Juma prayers, it's not a heavy traffic time. It's around 12 to 2. Rush hour don't start until after 3, 4 o'clock. Even after that, maybe even 5 o'clock. So we're not dealing with the rush hour time because at that moment, everyone is still at work or they at school. So that the traffic is not really a concern at that Friday specifically. And once again, we in Delaware, more and more people are moving to Delaware. Traffic is something we cannot control at all. But with this special entity, the time frame doesn't require any more traffic added on to the traffic that's already there already. Now, and someone talked about the noise. Once again, we call a prayer inside of the building. The building will be soundproof. Nobody can't hear it outside. We won't wake up nobody, disturb nobody as well. Because once again, we got to respect the community. We know here it is a free country far as religion based, so we have to respect everyone that we're around to as well. So therefore, no one will be woken up. You know, we will respect the time of the morning, the evening, the nighttime, even soliciting XYZ, even when we have children, we'll make sure that it's not bothering the neighbor at all. Because once again, we want the peace and we want people to come to as well. It's not only for us, secluded for us. So once again, for traffic, I know that's everyone concerned, but the time frame doesn't, you know, far as rush hour time will create any more traffic that's added onto it at all.
Thank you.
Allowed to ask questions? We allowed to ask questions?
Yes,
Am I supposed to?
please stand. No, stand. You're fine. You've been sworn in.
And I'm sure this is your hope as well. I know the church that I belong to in Camden has, because we built a building, we doubled the size of our congregation. So we have 200 people come at our 11 o'clock service, but we have a huge parking lot off of the highway. You're saying 3 to 4 people now, but if you build a big building and more people are gonna be staying in Smyrna and not going to Dover and Townsend and Newark, then it is gonna be more people. And I'm sure that's what your hope is that your congregation is gonna grow. And as it grows, it's going to again increase substantially the amount of traffic going to your place of worship. So, and I know that's your hope. I mean, my hope at my congregation is it continues to grow. But we have a parking lot for our congregation.
And we understand, once again, the Smyrna community itself is not really as big. Once again, Dover has a big masjid because the community is bigger than Smyrna, but we also want to accommodate everybody as well. So once again, this is just an initiative to get the land. So when we get to the part, if we can get approved, therefore we will meet with the engineers, the architect, to make sure that is a building that's feasible for the parking amount too as well. To make sure that we accommodate that with the zoning and the planning, because once again, if we don't do that, then there's no building that can be, you know, built. But we can't also buy the land and it's not approved as well. You know, so that's the reason why we're here today, to make sure that we're able to get that. So 5,000 is a ballpark, but let's say 5,000 is not approved, you get 2,500. It's better than 1,200 square foot. But once again, we need that land to accommodate everybody as well. I hope that answered your question.
I have a question also.
No problem.
And you say, you know, one of your services at sunrise running around 5 o'clock or so. Yeah. And then the others in the evening at 5 o'clock. Sunset. 5 o'clock in the evening. I don't care what day it is, and Smyrna traffic is crazy at night. And again, where you're at currently, you have 2 entrances. You can enter off Side Street, you can enter off Glenwood Avenue. So that makes it pretty nice. If you were allowed to bring 30 to 40 cars in there, like say, figure somewhere between 30 and 45, if you get to 4,000 square feet, where's the turn lane? Where's these things going in? I would hope that the town would take into consider all of the things before approving a facility. They don't want to buy a property that they can't do anything that they want to do with it. I understand that's why they're here to get approval. If they get that approval, then they can go through the processes to make sure everything is passes all the rest of them. 5 o'clock in the morning, and if you say there's only 5 or 10 people, and they buzz off and go to work, well, 5 o'clock in the morning, somebody's closing 10 doors, getting in and out. In the morning, the house next to me and his house next to there also, that's kind of noisy. I mean, not like ridiculously noisy, but it's loud. Especially if it's right next to their bedroom door, bedroom window, or anything like that. So I really wasn't concerned about noise. But even like you said, the American Legion is a commercial property. They can enter in off of 3 or 4 streets to get in there.
Yes.
And I think they only have maybe 20 parking places around the front or around the back. So even if they entered off side street and then they could go left, right, straight, they can go the other way. There's multiple ways to get in and out. With this type of facility, the amount of people that come in and out of there all at one time, and you said right now there's only 3. Well, if you got 1,200 square feet, 3 people or 5 people or 10 people with 1 bathroom is not a big deal. But if you're having many, many more people, then obviously I understand that you want more bathrooms, more facilities for ladies and women and stuff like that. So there are going to be times when you have a large volume of traffic going in and out of there. And again, Glenwood is already overtaxed, trafficked. And yes, no, we can't control people moving in, but we can control where they congregate to. In other words, we don't want to put another shopping center in there. If they bought the 5 houses down the road, put another shopping center that brings another 1,000 cars in. That would be something to be on the outskirts of town. Doesn't say far, it could be somewhere else. I just think a better location for the volume of cars coming into that facility, that's all.
Now, for as far as the noise, the doors, I don't know if you ever been to a masjid, but you won't never hear the door open and shut if you've never been there.
I mean, on the car door.
What, the car door? Yeah, of course. I
Close the
mean,
doors.
once again,
5 o'clock in the
wanna
morning,
be-
there's a bunch of car doors slamming out next to your window. It's a little bit.
and just with etiquette, with our etiquette, we'll make sure that, once again, that,
I know you'll try.
yeah, and once again, we'll make sure that we're not slamming the door to wake you up because everybody's not up at 5 o'clock.
I understand.
And that's just the etiquette.
I do understand you would try.
And now, once again, you're not having, it was just 3 of us there at the mosque right now with the society far as working, with people picking up their kids and everything. You don't have that much traffic. Yeah, we hope to have 30 people, 40, 50 people, but the realistic thing in the society, people work, people have responsibility, people have things to do. So not everyone is going at the same time for different prayers. Now, some people may know, okay, this is the time to pray. Okay, I can stop here. You can pray outside. You can pray anywhere. But to say we're going to have a volume of 30, 40, 50 people, I prayed in many different masjid and all over Delaware. Is not 30, 40, 50 people.
You did say in the beginning, there are times that you've had upwards of 50 people.
The only day, that's Friday. And that's what I said, if you, 12 to 2 o'clock, it's not rush hour time.
In Smyrna on Glenwood Avenue, 12 to 2 o'clock is just as busy as.
I drove down there, you know, that's.
Okay, so I think this is repetitive,
Yeah.
right? It's repetitive. I don't think we need to hear any more testimony about parking, traffic. It's all been heard. It's all been noted. And so unless
So
it's,
noted. Move on. Thank you.
Well, thank you, sir.
Yep. All right.
Um,
So,
The last thing I would say on behalf of staff in terms of things that you can consider when you can make a decision, you do have the ability to place conditions of approval in terms of some of the things that may be, some conditions of approval that may be put into place. Including size of the building, you do have the ability to limit any outdoor noise in terms of loudspeakers or anything of that nature. That can all be put as a condition of approval if you so choose. That is under your the realm of your approval. So I just want to remind you of that. Barrett, did you want to?
I don't know.
do you have anything? Nothing? Okay. I want to, first and foremost, thank everyone for being here this evening. Before I call for a motion on this application, I want everyone here to also understand that this application before us tonight is for a special exception use, and that's it. This application will move to the planning division. And that's where it's important for you guys to come. That's where they decide whether or not parking, all these questions then could be answered. You know, this board is here tonight to say to this applicant, you can build a structure on this site with these conditions. As you heard earlier, whether it's a body shop, whatever it may be, a convenience store, this board has to put value to what that special exception is. So we're very thankful for all of you being here this evening. A lot of questions that you have, I apologize that this board could not answer, right? Because we don't have that authority here. That goes to the planning division. So again, it's very important that you guys attend that meeting and you would be able to get some of the questions answered that you guys had tonight that we could not. In saying that, I'm going to move forward with the board and ask for a
Make
motion.
a motion that we approve SE-2025-493.
Can I have a second to that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Noonan, would you give me a reasoning for your approval of this application?
It will serve the convenience and welfare of the community.
Mrs. Wright,
Does not inconvenience for what their purpose is.
Mr. King,
It's consistent with the area and already religious institutions in the highway commercial district.
and again, I support that. So noted. Thank everyone for being here this evening for that application.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to move forward with the second application before us this evening. Which is SE 205493. Mr. Rocco, would you please stand?
Yes.
You swear the testimony you're about to give on this application, please just so say I do.
I do.
Thank you. Would you share the staff report with us, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. The application before you is hopefully a little less controversial. An application, a variance application. Requesting a variance to encroach 2 feet and 1.9 feet into both of the required 6-foot side yard setbacks to construct a new single-family dwelling on an existing vacant lot. Located at 121 Northeast Street here in Smyrna, Delaware. The application was duly advertised in the Delaware State News on October the 12th. It was advertised at Town Hall on October the 9th. It was posted on the subject property on October the 9th, and it was mailed to the property owner and abutting property owners on October the 9th. This particular lot is right near Mount Olive Pentecostal Church. There's a lot of very narrow lots on this street, similar to Northeast Street, North Street, Lincoln Street, all have a lot of very narrow lots along these this part of town. You'll notice it's a vacant lot in 1978. This was the house that was demolished. It was previously condemned by the town and it was demolished in 1978. The previous house was 16 and a half feet wide. The 2-story house, it was condemned, it was demolished, and it was subsequently sold at tax sale. This property was rezoned to downtown residential in 2024, one of 481 rezoned to downtown residential. And the contract purchaser, Mr. Kyle Nichols, is requesting a variance to construct a similarly constructed house. Second here. It is a 20-foot wide house. There are a few things that are unique to this particular parcel. Unfortunately, the property lines are not at straight 90-degree angles. Unfortunately, these property lines are at a slight angle. So the property owner has two options. If you wanted to stay parallel to the side property lines, the front of the house would be skewed from the street. They did originally provide an option where they would be in line, but that would be skewed. That would not be flush with the street, which to be flush with the street to sort of fit in with the other houses along Northeast Street, the applicant has proposed the front and the sides have to stick out an extra foot or so for this. This is a 30-foot wide lot. So it's a very narrow lot, like other lots along Northeast Street. Of the other dwellings along Northeast Street, none of them meet the required. The only one that meets it is the larger house on the corner. It is the only house that meets the required setbacks. The houses to either side do not encroach even further into the side yard setback than this particular proposed house would.
How wide is the lot?
The lot is 30-foot wide, and the applicant is proposing a 20-foot wide house. Under the terms of the downtown residential district, you're required to have a 6-foot side yard setback on both sides. So it's going to approach about 2 feet in either side, 2 feet on one and 1.9 feet on the other. The house will look similar to similar to the house that was demolished in 1978. This is the floor plans
Right.
Of the house that to be constructed. With that, I will. You have to, just as a reminder, you have to review each application individually. But with that said, you have approved similar variances elsewhere, most recently at 112 South Delaware Street, at a similarly narrow vacant lot, a rebuild for an existing house that had been demolished. So just to reiterate, the side on either side of the house will be 4 feet and 4.1 feet from the property line, from either neighboring property line. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions. And I would like to introduce my staff report as Exhibit A.
So noted.
Thank you.
Mr. Noonan, do you have any questions for Mr. Rockwell?
No, I do not.
Mrs. Wright, do you have any questions for Mr. Rockwell? Mr. King, do you have any questions for Mr. Rockwell?
No, sir.
No questions for staff. Do we have the applicant here with us this evening? Would you please raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give this evening is the truth? If so, say I do.
I do.
Would you state your name and address for the record, please?
Kyle Nichols, address is 606 Northwest Front Street, Milford, Delaware, 19963.
Okay. And I think, let me give you your, applicant brought his own PowerPoint.
We'll go through it super quick. It's just 5 slides, but we'll cruise through. Thank you everyone for your time. I know we're over, so I'll go super quick. My name's Kyle, local builders here in Milford. We've been doing this in this space for 10 plus years. We just focus on high quality stick built homes. And we need a variance for what we're trying to do, which I'll get to in 2 slides. I'll figure out how to do it. Nervous to press the wrong button.
What's that? There you go.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
So as Mr. Rothwell mentioned, 121 North East Street, downtown residential. It's in the downtown development district, which if you may or may not be familiar with, which is obviously a state program to add funds for outside investment to really just
grow areas. As Mr. Rothwell also mentioned, there's a house that used to be there a long time ago. It sounds like it might have been lost to a fire. So that's kind of the lot itself. Moving quickly, the proposed plan, you see the kind of the rendering, what it would look like in the middle. Right side obviously is the floor plan. So 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1,700 square feet, projected sales price about $275. So if you've looked for homes recently and you've looked at like prices of homes, like this is extremely affordable. Like there's no homes on the market that don't require significant renovations that would be in this. So we're trying to do a high quality home that's also extremely affordable. And we're also trying to respect the neighborhood and historic homes that are already there. So the siding, the design kind of has that folk Victorian style. So to really fit the character of the neighborhood. Move along just quickly for the sake of time. This is where the variance request comes from. So as Mr. Rothwell mentioned, the house that we're proposing is 20 feet. And the blue box that you see is the buildable area under the current code. And as Mr. Rothwell mentioned, our engineers have terrible time trying to find the survey lines and where the perimeter was. And so you see where those yellow pins are, that's where the houses would really kind of stick out on the corner, and that's where we would need the variance for. And if you're asking the question of, well, why build a 20-foot, why not try to build 18 and be inside of that buildable? It really comes down to kind of the standard house design. It would be, not to say that it's not possible, but it's extremely difficult because you have so many standardized things just like your kitchen cabinets, right? All come in general standardized sizes. All your code, in order to be code compliant, you have room width size, you have hallway sizes. In your bathroom, the vanity has to be so far from the toilet, which has to be so far from the shower. So you have all of these code compliances. Once you get down to 18 feet, it's not to say that it's impossible, but it's very difficult. 20 feet is really kind of your standard width of all of your material. And so that's where our hardship and really comes in, and that we're requesting the variance for. Again, we're trying to be very modest with our request. I'm not trying to build the Taj Mahal here, trying to just align to the character of the neighborhood with just sticking with kind of modern business practices that would also align us to code and just all of our design and building materials sizes that they get shipped in. Last slide, just for sake of time, just highlighting some of the reasons why we would ask for your approval. It supports the Sonora comp plan, which is obviously to it encourages infill of vacant downtown lots, promotes revitalization of areas. It aligns with the DDP, which obviously is looking to bring in and attract investments. We're trying to minimize or reduce the impacts to the neighbors. So existing water and sewer taps are there, so you don't have to be cutting into the road, don't have to shut down the road. We're also going to be asking the planning committee for a parking waiver, so limited impact there to put in that. So it should be a limited impact to build. I mean, there's always going to be impact, but we're going to try our best to minimize it as much as possible. Again, we're picking out designs with the siding and the home itself that would fit the character of the neighborhood. Tax basis would expand, but really comes down to it brings affordable housing into Smyrna without drastically impacting the neighbors in the community. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Mr. Newman, you have any questions for the applicant?
Oh, no, he answered most of them.
Mrs. Wright? Mr. King?
I'm good, sir.
Can I ask one question?
Yes, sir.
So first off, can we get a copy of this to include in the record, the presentation?
We have
So-
an electronic
All right,
copy.
so
I
we'll
can-
include that as exhibit B. If you could just go back to the prior slide. The site plan.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
There's a little bit of delay.
It's a little delay, yeah.
There you go. That one?
No, I just want to make sure that I'm clear on the variances. Yep, this one. So really, we're looking for a 2-foot variance on this side here. It'll
Yes.
encroach 2 feet.
Right.
And then on this side, it's going to encroach 1.9 feet,
That's
correct?
Yes. That's correct.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking for variances of varying widths between 2 feet and 1.9 feet. All right.
My question to you was just that before I asked for a motion, because it's with those two different variances, just as one.
Yeah. So just, we can just entertain at this point a motion to approve the variances
Right.
as requested. And in the written report, we'll identify them on which side of the property as a varying width from 2 feet and from 1.9 feet. That's further identified in the application. So it kind of ties it all in.
Thank you. Thank you for your comment. Do we have anyone else with us this evening to speak in favor of this applicant? Would you please stand, sir? Raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, is so say I do.
Yes.
Would you please state your name and address for the record, please?
Dennis Hume, 111 Patriot Drive, Middletown, Delaware. I own property on North Lincoln Street that backs up to this lot. So I just want to voice my support for what is going to be built here. I think it's reasonable with the setbacks. I think it's reasonable to build a 20-foot house. I think that's the minimum nowadays.
Sure.
If you build anything less, it's really an inferior house that, why build that? So I think this is a reasonable request and I'm supportive.
Thank you for your time, sir. Do you have anyone else with us this evening to speak in favor of this application? Seeing, hearing none. Do we have anyone here to speak?
Mr. Johnson.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear a testimony you're about to give this evening is the truth, and so say I do? Would you please state your name and address for the record?
Bob Johnson, 2018 Senior Town Road, Dover, Delaware, 19904. I own property, obviously, on the corner up there on 13.
Mhm.
I can see that property from my office window. And we definitely have a homeless problem in the area, and this would benefit building something there and having somebody live on the lot in the house to keep the homeless from wandering around in that area.
Sure.
Trying to say it as nice as possible. It is a real problem.
Yeah.
Building a house there would help improve that area drastically.
Bob, thank you.
Yeah.
Do you have anyone else with us this evening speaking in favor of this application? Seeing, hearing none, do we have anyone here with us this evening speaking in opposition to this application? Would you please stand? Raise your right hand, ma'am. You swear that the testimony that you're about to give this evening is the truth, if so say I do.
I do.
Would you please state your name and address for the record, please?
April McElrath. I live at 123 Northeast Street. I'm on the right side of the property where it would actually be the 4.1 feet from my house. It's still in my grandmother's name. It has been in our family since the town was built. We actually, in the last 8 years that I've lived here, we actually just got the homelessness and all of the mischiefness under control. And honestly, to build affordable housing, that just brings the issues back that we've had to fight. If anything, the churches on the corner need to deal with the homeless people that sit on the steps, not the empty lot that's between two families that have lived there pretty much their whole lives. If the house that was there before was way too small, and when it burned down, yes, by the grace of God, it did not catch the house that I was able to inherit and raise my son in on fire. But who's to say that that's going to happen twice? Increasing the taxes that are already hard for me as an underpaid educator to pay. We can't even get a raise for Smyrna School District because everyone's mad about the last tax raise. So raising the taxes would just be horrible for this town. We already also have 3 businesses on our street. There are 2 churches, which is Mount Olive, African Church, and then we have the Masonic Lodge in the middle of our block that on any given day, if there's an event, a baptism, a wedding or something, we come home to not having parking spaces. I'm okay with the sound. We already live across the street from a fire whistle that goes off anytime there is a fire, an accident, 12 o'clock to let you know that there's lunch. My issue is more the smells, the sounds, and the things that come with a 3-bedroom house being put on such a small lot. And I'm a kindergarten educator. Where are those children going to play? Where are those children going to be able to have any type of lifestyle when there's no side yards, there's no backyards? Again, if you look at the picture, you would be able to literally probably jump out my bedroom, my son's bedroom window into one of their windows because the house would literally be within 4 feet. The neighborhood is already getting overpopulated, so a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom house sounds great, but this is Smyrna. We don't need that. And again, the odors, the sound, and the quality of life will be highly, highly affected by putting a house on that land. And if the board doesn't approve, me and my cousin are ready to probably go forward with just purchasing the land because we want the land to stay in our family. And we want it, we can just get it back. I'm not very good at speaking. I'm used to teaching kindergartners and being in front of educators, but definitely just, this is something that we are highly opposed to. Just due to the quality of life, and it's unsafe. Again, that, as you can see from the pictures before, back in the day, there were very less regulations and maybe consciousness on how things could go, but why create an issue that doesn't need to be created?
Thank you very much. Do you have anyone else with us this evening to speak in opposition to this application?
Rodney, you have somebody else.
Please stand, sir. That's right. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give this evening is true? If so, say I do.
I do.
Thank you very much. Would you state your name and address for record, please?
Matthew Williams, 119 Northeast Street, Smyrna.
Welcome, Matthew.
I live directly on the left-hand side of that property line there. Now, these lots are small in this part of town. A lot of you know this. Now, he wants to come over 4 foot and build right on top of our homes. You know what I mean? Property lines are crooked and the lots are small. These homes are very, very old. And I'm against that variance for that reason, to have space between homes. And then the parking. There's road parking. You don't have nowhere to park there as it is. Like she said, if there's an event at any one of these churches, I had to park 2 blocks away from my house just to get to my house. So that's the reason why I'm against it. Now, if it's come to an issue to where they can't, I'm willing to purchase the property. And as far as to the homeless, sir, there's no homeless on that lot. I lived in that lot, in that house my entire life. So.
At the corners, yes. Between my house and his house, there never been.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. We need to stay just on the applicant, please.
You know.
We understand this.
As far as that lot being that way, sir.
Yeah.
It's not big. Because I'm there every day. Now, there is a lot of foot traffic on that street because of how people got to traverse through the street.
Sure.
But that's it.
Thank you, William, for your statement. Do you have anyone else with us this evening to speak in opposition to this application? Seeing here none, I'm going to ask the board for a motion.
Make a motion that we approve variance V-2025-588.
Do I have a second to that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is right. Mr. Noonan, would you give the reason why you approved this application?
The variance requested is the minimal variance that will make possible the reasonable use of the land, building, or the structure.
Mr. King?
Consistent with the other homes in the area, it's going to assist with infilling the lots within the town of Smyrna, and it's going to be utilizing the existing infrastructure.
I'm going to ask, Mr. Do we have anything? Yeah. All right. Motion approved. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hey, on your website, did it say this meeting was at 7 o'clock?
Which one? A separate meeting at 20 minutes late.
Planning and zoning?
Yeah. The Board of Adjustment meeting went longer than anticipated. It typically
platform.
The planning commission meeting was getting ready to start.